This review is actually going to be a lot more critical than any of my other tennis racket reviews on this channel, mainly because I have extensively used the 2018 and the 2020 versions of the Yonex EZone 98 in the past. If you want me to do a comparison of all three Yonex EZone 98 rackets, leave a comment down in the section below. But before we get started, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button along with that notification bell for more original tennis content. Without further ado, this is the Yonex EZone 98 2022 version Tennis Racket Review. The way that this racket review will be laid out will be a little bit different than the previous racket reviews I've done on this channel. I will first start off with the pros with this racket, then I'll move on to the cons, the negatives. So I will leave chapters if you guys want to skip to either the pros or the cons or even the afterthoughts of this racket review. However, the pros of this racket were aplenty. The ground strokes had plenty of pop, spin, and penetration. This felt like a modern player's racket in my hand, and the dwell time on the strings for this racket were fantastic. On top of that, flattening out shots from midcourt actually felt powerful, yet controlled at the same time. Even the slices had a blend of control and power. It knifed through the air fast enough and stayed low to make your opponent bend low to keep it in play. I had many comments in my YouTube comments and Discord server, I'll leave a link to my Discord server down in the section below, about this racket being made for two-handed backhands. And actually, I would beg to differ. Flattening out on my backhand and looping it nice and high were an absolute pleasure with this racket. The feel of this racket was also good. I actually felt confident with Alcaraz's signature shot, the drop shots from the baseline. This also might be one of the best modern tennis rackets for volleys I play tested in recent memory. Doubles players, if it wasn't for a certain negative that I'll talk about later in this video, you might want to demo this frame just because of the volleys. Just like from the baseline, the plush feel and awesome dwell time of this racket were welcome with open arms with this racket. And it's with no surprise that both the reaction volleys and touch shot volleys, like the volley drop shots or half volley pickups, were fantastic with this racket as well. Overall, this 2022 Yonex EZone 98 version has near perfect scores at the net. The pros also carry into the serves as well. This racket definitely felt like it added a few extra miles per hour to my flat serves. It also felt like it also added some extra bite to my topspin, kick, and slice serves. Also, given the extra beef with this racket, it actually didn't feel like I lost any accuracy at all. If I wanted to aim for a specific part of the service box for a particular type of serve, it went there with relative ease, assuming I could generate the proper acceleration. But more on that contingency later. With the positives out of the way, let's talk about the negatives. Even though I gave high praise for this racket, it is nowhere near perfect. First of all, this racket was extremely hard to swing and maneuver from the baseline. Especially with my downline backhand, I felt like I was a few milliseconds too late on most of these shots, and I missed it into the alley in the process. Second, I personally felt the volleys were a little too powerful for my taste. Some floated a little bit longer than expected to either fly past the baseline or into my opponent's strike zone if I'm trying to do a little bit more of a finesse type of shot. Thirdly, just don't buy this racket for the love of God. Every time I hit with this racket, in under 5 minutes, I have incredibly sharp pain in my hand and wrist in all types of strokes. Baseline, net, serve, it didn't matter. It freaking hurt. I'm not exaggerating when I say that I am in complete pain every single time I have used this racket. The pain is much sharper than the discomfort I had in the 2020 version. This is an absolute disaster of a tennis racket. And to be honest, I'm actually making this video to say, avoid this racket at all costs. Honestly, every Yonex EZone 98 2022 version should be gathered up and burned. This is, in my opinion, a literal danger to all tennis players. But I want to hear what you guys think. Have you tried this Yonex EZone 98 version? Did you have incredibly sharp pain in the hand and wrist like I did? Leave a comment down in the section below. I really do want to hear your thoughts. This actually might be a danger to tennis players all around the world. As always, this was strung with my Tier 1 Black Knight 16 gauge at 50 pounds. And as always, guys, happy hitting.